This is Bus49, owner of the Buccaneers, here with the Eagles owner, Tomaso. We're going to do an interview today talking about the offseason moves, the trades that he's made, the free agents that he's picked up, the fact that he's got the first overall in the draft and the fourth overall in the draft, what plans he's got going forward, and how he's going to improve on last season.
Sounds
Wide
positive.
receiver Quez Watkins, round one, pick six. Defensive end Kyron Johnson, and a future seventh for center Andre James. Tight end Darren Waller, wide receiver Renfro, cornerback Rocky Sin, and the 2023 pick 41. So, what was the thought behind this trade?
Um, for whatever quarterback I have next season, either if I draft one or if I keep with Gardner because he was working with me the little bit I used him last season, I wanted to revamp and just overload my offense. Give him nothing but weapons. Whoever's going to be the quarterback on my team, I want to give them nothing but weapons and the opportunity to strive. And with Andre James, with Kelsey retiring, I got him signed Austin Blythe in the free agency, and moved one of them over to right guard, kept one of them as my backup to Cam Jurgens, who I want to get started. And then Ruckus Sin, I lost Bradbury, so I needed a good young cornerback to go and get with Slay.
Right. Darren Waller is going to be good for you, considering historically you've been using tight ends more than just about anybody else in the league. He's your new Pat Fryermuth superstar
I got
trait.
Waller and Goddard, so it'll be fun.
And then you got Renfro. Do you prefer Renfro over Quez Watkins, and why?
So at the end of last season, end of last Madden, I came back and joined as the Packers, and I think I was the one who signed him, or Keys did right before he left. I had Renfro on the Packers, and the man's got hands. Like he's the white Shadow Tosinko to me. I'm gonna make that joke because now you threw it to him. It didn't matter if there was one guy, two guys. He had the ball.
Yeah, that seems to be a lot of
And
what
with
you do on offense. Is you want the hands because you're constantly trying to throw underneath, and Renfro's really good at
yeah, and
getting open underneath.
he's got that 97 catch and an 892. Sorry, an 82 catch in traffic. So I'm like, he's gonna make that catch when you need him to.
So you actually prefer the skill set of Renfro over Quez Watkins, just because he has got better hands.
I'm Renfro's got an extremely less amount of speed than him, but speed doesn't teach can't. If that makes any sense.
Agreed.
Speed. You can teach hands, but you want hands over speed when it matters.
Yeah, on those third down
And
plays they need to
I
catch,
have
you want Renfro instead of Watkins.
yeah.
Third down to Renfro, as they say. Then another pick or another trade that you made, you send franchise tackle Lane Johnson along with the wide receiver that you got from the Texans in the season, Nico Collins, along with the round one pick 11 and the next year third round pick for the pick one in the draft. So how did
Um,
you go? Or how did you feel about getting rid of Lane Johnson?
um, it hurt. Like being a actual diehard Eagles fan, like I didn't want to trade Lane. Um, but it was a business decision to open up a lot of cap space and just to get younger and better. And that number one pick's gonna really help me out
Yeah,
with what I
going
have planned.
10 picks up in the draft. You think that the pick one, which we'll get to later, will go towards helping you quite a bit.
And also the joke that Ra and I made together, he didn't want that pressure, and I've had the number one pick. I've traded for the number one pick multiple times. I'm cool with it. I was stressing
Yeah.
out a little bit which direction I wanted to go, but when I actually realized what I need to get and then what I can get with the number four, seeing I have those two picks so close to each other, I can kind of breathe easy and know exactly what I want to do.
Right. And
I'm not happy about Nico Collins. I was looking forward to using him. 6'5", 90 something speed. What was he? Like he had the speed and the height.
yeah, he's pretty
He
big.
was 6'4", 90 speed, 91 acceleration. So he got there fast, and he was in a tower over everyone else.
Yeah, I think you were pretty excited when you got him in the trade with Jalen Hurts in the season.
I was excited for him. He was that bright spot. I was more excited to get that first round for Turk because like Hurts wasn't worth the first by himself, but with all the players I traded in the season with Hurts to get that first round pick, it opened up a lot of cap space for me for the
Yeah, I think
season
that was
here.
a smart deal to make, sending Nico Collins out after picking up Renfro, because now you got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, which is first round pick from a couple years ago, and Renfro on your squad now. Collins would probably be the fourth guy, I assume.
He would have been number four if I didn't just sign Will Fuller. He would probably be number four.
Yeah,
He would definitely be my red zone threat though.
makes sense. So, as you alluded to, the free agency came along after the trades, and you replaced Nico Collins with wide receiver Will Fuller. How did you feel about picking him up?
Uh, I'm a like I said, I'm a diehard, and I know Will Fuller's from Philly, so being able to bring him back home to Philly and play at Philly is nice for me.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty cool. He's going to be able to play in his hometown.
but the biggest part of free agency that I was happy about is my secondary. Picking up Poyer and Marcus Peters really made my defense and my secondary that much better because with my corners now, I have Darius Slay, Marcus Peters, Rock Ya-Sin, and Avonte Maddox. And then I have CJ Gardner Johnson still and Jordan Poyer as my safeties. Last year with Bradbury, like this year in real life and last year in my Madden season, Bradbury was that guy. I just couldn't re-sign him. I didn't have enough money and wanted to go better and younger.
Yeah, that's a good deal to
But like I
me.
said, Bradbury was that guy for me. Like he was getting the picks, he was getting the tutties, he was getting everything I needed him to do.
Yep. Peter should be able to do a lot of that too. So it's good.
Oh yeah,
Swap. Then you re-signed
and
Andre
he,
Dillard to replace Lane Johnson on the right tackle spot, for now at least.
yeah, I'm happy I got him back. Yeah, because that's a nice breath of fresh air that someone I'm comfortable with. You know, he re-signed back with me, put him as a starter so he can actually get his actual chance. If that makes any sense.
Right.
Like
He was a
my also
first round pick originally, and he's been having injury issues. Eventually got replaced by Molada. Now he's going to get
yeah
his chance
my
to redeem, show why he's a
yeah
first round pick. Then I noticed your QB situation through the season was pretty wild. You started out with Jalen
and
Hurts, and he wasn't doing very good for you, so you traded him to the Texans for Davis Mills. And you started Mills for a few games, and he lost his job to Gardner Minshew. Is that going to
yeah
be something you look at with your first round picks? Is replacing the quarterback
um
position? Or is Minshew the
yes
future?
if things don't go with plans with the sim draft, Minshew's gonna be my guy. Hopefully Madden does right by me, gives me the 1 and 4 that I have on my board. The 1 and 2 on my board, and I can rest easily in the preseason here, knowing that I have a good quarterback.
So it's fair to say that the first pick and the fourth pick are subject for quarterback to be drafted at.
Yes, I'll say this right now: the fourth pick in the draft is going to be a quarterback. I will announce that right now for you.
Interesting.
And if you'd like to, I will tell you who the number one pick will be, so everyone can quit guessing and all that shit.
Yeah, if you want to announce it, go ahead.
So the number one pick will be Will Anderson Jr. out of Alabama. Moving Hassan Reddick down to my line was my kind of indication of that. He's just going to be that fire that I need in my linebacker core with Nakobe Dean.
Right. Will Anderson's pretty fast. He can pass rush really well. He basically just another version of Micah Parsons for you. You gonna use him mostly a linebacker or at edge?
I'm gonna do with him what Hassan Reddick did last year. Hassan Reddick was my rush D end and my outside linebacker. Uh, he was literally all over the place, and I loved it. And now that I'm going for Will Anderson, I'm gonna let Reddick just do what he does and just torment quarterbacks on the DN, and let Will Anderson pick up that slack and
Yep.
out the backfield.
I like that idea. Eagles defense is looking pretty scary at this point. Got that secondary and Kobe Dean slowly progressing. That D line is something mean too. So
Yeah, I had Josh Sweat as a superstar last season. He lost his superstar in staff week because everyone got down if they did a bad season. But he's still like an 82 overall. He's still got great stats and attributes. He's gonna get that back in no time.
yeah, I like to see what's going on in Philly. Overall, this past season, you had the eighth worst offense in yards overall. You were 22nd in passing and 15th in rushing. Is the quarterback, I assume, going to help with your 22nd in passing? Are you changing your playbooks, or have you made or are going to make any kind of coach changes?
Sirianni still got the show for this season. Last season was a tough one with all the bullshit that was happening with my team, the interception wise with the quarterbacks and user mistakes that I was making. See, I like Sirianni as an actual coach. He's a great guy. He's smart.
Yeah.
The playbook's nice. I will say one thing I plan on leaning more towards is running. I just got Miles Sanders on a 7-year deal, and CJ Verdell, I signed him for I think a 3 or 4 year deal. So young rookie proved himself, got his contract.
Yep. That Verdell breaking out was a big part in you getting the middle of the pack 15th and rushing this past season. That was your strong point.
Yeah, he went from 65 normal to a 72 star, and then he lost his star in staff week also.
Yeah. Well, keep on doing what you're doing with him this past season, and he'll get it back.
I forgot my faith with Verdell was a lot better than that. They just signed him for a 6-year deal.
Yeah, so just keep on doing what you're doing last season. I'm sure it'll be a star in no time. By the end of the season, you might have an 80 overall running back on your hands.
So that's what I'm hoping for. Him and Miles share the rock, and he gets better.
And then, along with your struggles on offense, your rush defense was the 13th worst in the league, and your pass defense was the 8th worst. Is there any plans to change your defense, or what are you going to try and do to improve on this season?
The best thing I can do for my defense is get better on offense. That's the one thing I knew that was an issue with my defense is my offense just kept giving back the ball, and my defense was getting tired. And when you're tired, you don't play that well, and the offense on the other side gets more opportunities.
Right. Definitely hurts the
Um,
defense when you turn over the ball as much as you were.
with my acquisitions of Rocky Sin and Marcus Peters and Jordan Poyer, I feel like that's gonna make the pass defense a lot better.
Yep. And then you'll have Will Anderson out there pass rushing and covering people.
Oh yeah. I think it's safe to note also that Jordan Davis is taking the starting role from Fletcher Cox this season.